What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the After Action Report from Criminal Syndicate versus Wakanda. And if you're just tuning in, the Wakanda losing streak continues. I think they have yet to pick up a win on this channel.
Ooh, that's rough.
It is.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
mind you, I don't pilot them all that often.
And they got some new releases coming soon, so maybe.
They do. So, yeah, so for everyone tuning in, Jason and his Criminal Syndicate just absolutely rocked the table. 21 points to 14. Just destroyed me on that one. So yeah, Jason, talk about your squad a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we can't ignore here is that the dice played a huge factor in this game. So saying, I think these guys did really well. Well, yeah, everyone does well when you roll nothing but crits and hits. But
so many crits.
This was kind of my experiment run for Hulkbuster, and I do really like him here. I think he's got a decent amount of play.
He was frustrating beyond belief, man.
Yeah,
so frustrating.
The reduction combined with cover makes him really hard to chip damage into, and again, dice being a factor there too. But then also just having guaranteed pushes on his attacks, and like having mobility on his attacks, having area damage. I think he was a solid pick for the squad. This was also my first game with Ulik, and Ulik didn't do too much here, but the mobility definitely mattered. Having
he
him
scared the bejeebus out of Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, 4 damage early to Black Panther was really, really nice.
And I think that actually impacted a lot of how I was playing the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it was how I took him out in the end, right? I zapped him for 2 with Hood.
Oh my goodness, your Hood. I don't know why Hood continues to be a perennial thorn in my side.
Right until the last turn, Hood was doing way more than he had any right to. Although, as per usual, when I bring Hood on your channel...
it's not just you. When almost anyone brings Hood, I don't know what it is. Hood just friggin' wrecks me.
As per usual, though, Hood's gang, I played it, remembered it on Hood's turn, and then promptly forgot about it for everyone else.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit of a win more. I think you still ended up with a lot of the same results.
Yeah.
Like most of my team over here just got dummied.
Well,
Killmonger going down the way he did. Oh my goodness.
And like there was a few points this game where like attrition was so heavy in my favor this entire game, but there was a few scary moments where you almost managed to just barely scrape out the win on points there.
Yeah. So let's actually talk about one of those moments. Over here, when Black Panther went into Hulkbuster twice, that was dumb of me. That was really dumb of me. I should have run around to the point on the other side of the sanctum there, and I should have just hoped that Ulik's 6 dice attack into me would not do the work.
Yeah, because we talked about that, and if Ulik was able to get the punch on you, you would have you might survive that because you've got blanks, you've got a single reroll. I would have cruelty.
Remember, I also only had 2 health remaining as well at that time, right? And I was not trusting my dice at all.
And then with cruelty, if I did 1 damage on the punch, because he didn't have the power to do the charge thing and cruelty unless he gains 1. But if I gained the 1 on the first punch, I'd also have a 5 dice missed.
Yeah, you'd have the follow-up attack, which I wouldn't get my blanks for or anything like that. It just... Yeah, I got spooked by a lot of my dice rolls.
And they definitely betrayed you pretty hard in the early game here.
Goodness. I think the only one who really popped off was Bullseye all game.
Bullseye was scary this game.
That's what Bullseye punches way above his weight.
He does.
Every single time.
He does. He put really good chip into Hood. He put really good... did he punch Hulkbuster? I think he did at the beginning.
He never bothered with Hulkbuster because you were just always going to build to take it.
Okay.
So,
right, yeah, we talked about that right at the beginning. Yeah. So yeah, it was just Hood that he was punching all game, but I think he did most of the damage on Hood.
Now that I'm reading Parting Shot, though, I think I actually do get the damage in from Parting Shot because it's after the attack targeting the character is resolved. So I think built to take it.
I think that still would work.
Yeah. So I probably should have been doing that sooner, actually, come to think of it.
I mean, what he ended up doing definitely mattered. Having that amount of consistent chip on Hood, who's pretty good at saying, I'm going to reduce damage so you're not actually allowed to hurt me very much.
The amount of damage reduction you were working with in this list was just
Everyone had it.
Frustrating.
Every model in the list had damage reduction.
Except for normal Hood.
Except for normal Hood. And I guess flipped Iron Man.
But yeah, it's just... Hood got work. Like, here's the thing. All your pieces got work done.
Yes.
And the fact that Kingpin's leadership was basically just keeping a lot of these secures in your control was huge.
No, for sure.
And the fact that, like, Killmonger just did nothing for me in this game. which was disappointing.
Yeah, Killmonger, unfortunately, he never really got a chance to come in and do what he does best.
Well, you had him at was it round 2 that you took him out?
I think round 2, I flipped him. Round 3, I think I took him off the table.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because yeah, I targeted him out real quick, and like that initial Hulkbuster blast into him, hitting him left him on like 1 or 2.
What I probably should have done is I probably should have put Killmonger over next to Okoye and just had Okoye bodyguard for him the rest of the game.
Fair enough, yeah.
So yeah, there was a bunch of misplays on this, and you played a tight game. Like I think that's what it kind of comes down to. You played a very tight game.
Other than my first round where I forgot that Shuri can push Kingpin and let him get shoved up.
My first round, I forgot there was hammers on either side of the board. Okay, man. So like,
yeah, I think we both made some blunders there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think what really boils down to is you played a much tighter game than I did. I made mistakes. I don't know if they were foolish mistakes or just inexperienced mistakes. I made mistakes. I think the Hulkbuster Black Panther fight was a mistake. That was a foolish mistake on my part.
But I think for the most part, like I don't think there was anything glaring. I think it was small things here and there that just added up, and then the dice were the big one.
And that's the thing. Like in my head, I was throwing 2 6-dice attacks into Hulkbuster. I should have gotten Hulkbuster with that, right?
Yes. When Hulkbuster, that was when Hulkbuster had what, 2 health left, 3 health left, and you ended up with.
You had 2 health left,
and you did 1 damage.
No, I didn't do any.
Oh, I thought you got 1 there. I could be mixing up.
No,
because then Okoye finished off the 1 damage, I think.
Was it Okoye that finished? I can't remember at this point.
Either way, it was ridiculously low what you needed, and you didn't quite get it.
And that was the story of so many interactions in this game. I mean, the fact that I took Hood down to 1 and then you just walked over and patched him up. Hulkbuster like just kept taking the damage. Kingpin taking the damage, and Blob's defense is not showing up. Just I think that's the most frustrating thing about this whole experience. Like, I actually have really good defensive tech in this list.
Oh yeah,
and it just wasn't showing up, right?
Yeah, no, I mean between your leadership and models like Shuri and Okoye, there's tons of defensive tech there. And hey, for his credit, Bullseye just refused to die until that Helios laser. He ate something like 12 dice Mystic and 8 dice Physical and took 1 damage.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely give Bullseye some credit there. He survived way longer than he had any right to survive.
But unfortunately, at that point, it was a little too late.
I think the combination of various splash damage effects with your damage reduction actually was a very interesting take on things, because I was forced to bundle up quite a bit.
Yep.
And like, I mean, your Dark Lightnings, your Meteor Punches, you got a lot of just random splash damage in that way.
Yeah,
like
no, and it added up. I mean, the Meteor Punch got a couple KOs or dazes.
It got 1 KO and 1 daze.
Yeah, and then the Empowered Arc got at least 2 KOs. No, I think it was 1 and 1.
Who took out Killmonger?
You know what? No, that was the Meteor Punch.
That was the throw. Yeah, the Meteor Punch, because
the throw on the Meteor Punch.
Yeah, because you did a Meteor Punch into.
Oh yeah, so it was 2 KOs in a daze because it knocked it killed Killmonger.
You killed Killmonger. You killed Shuri, and you dazed
Bullseye.
You dazed Bullseye.
And then the Empowered Arc at the end, getting Panther, Okoye, and doing Splash to Blob, which Splash to Blob definitely came up.
It dazed Blob.
Yeah.
It dazed Blob. It dazed Panther.
Yeah.
And it dazed Okoye.
Yeah.
And I think the frustrating thing there is Okoye was just like, no, I don't think it dazed Okoye. She was left on 1, I think.
It also wasn't what did Blob in. It was contributing when I went to go kill Blob at the very end. It was the 2 damage he already had.
Yeah, that's right. Blob had 2 damage remaining. I thought I had a path to victory over here. Unfortunately, it did not quite come through. And Blob's defenses didn't really.
If Kingpin had failed to finish him off there, I mean, that might have worked.
Yeah, but you got a spectacular cruelty roll on that one.
Yeah, there was a solid cruelty in there
because it was 4 damage. I needed to get 2 successes and then have the power to reduce by 1.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think I got 1 success and I reduced by 1, and that was all I could do. Which unfortunately is not enough to keep Blob alive. And if Blob had been kept alive, I think that would have been game.
I think I would agree with that. Yeah.
And I came so close so many times in this game, and you just came right back and like, nope. No, you're going to snag it back.
Although seeing where Ulik did end up after 2 medium moves, I am curious whether a Crushing Leap instead of a medium move would have actually put him in blob range. I don't know for sure. It's hard to say, but
I think you only had the power for 1 Crushing Leap at the time.
But I only did a medium.
Yeah, the medium move followed by the maybe.
Like it's hard to say. Models have obviously moved and things have been shifted, but it would have been close. I obviously would have had to go for it because it would have been my only out. But
well, either way, man, well played game. That was, frustration aside, it was a good game. It was a good game. I look forward to doing more. And your CS continues to just dominate me.
Apparently,
apparently, I have a hard time into CS. So we will see you guys next time. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you like. All that sort of great stuff. And if you want to support the channel, Aegis Brand Studio or patreon.com/AegisBrand Studios. We'll see you next time. Happy wargaming.